Once upon a time, in a quiet corner of the world, there was a small lion cub named Kaya. Kaya did not live in the great dry grasslands that lions are famous for. He grew up beside a wide, calm river where the ground was soft and green, and the air always smelled a little like water and flowers. Every morning, the sun would stretch itself over the hills, and the first light would fall on Kaya's whiskers. He would blink, yawn, and tumble out of his nest of leaves. He loved to run along the riverbank. He loved to chase the butterflies that danced just out of reach. He loved to listen to the soft song of the water as it moved past stones and roots. But most of all, Kaya loved to be with his mother. Kaya's mother was a strong lioness with gentle eyes. When she walked, her paws were silent, but her heart was full of stories. Kaya had been born by the river. His mother, however, had been born far away, in a place she called the Savanna. At first, the word meant nothing to Kaya. It was just a sound, like wind or birdsong. But every evening, when the sky began to turn gold and pink, his mother would lie down near the water, and Kaya would curl up beside her. The frogs would start to sing, the first stars would appear, and his mother would begin. Once, in the wide savanna where the grass waves like the sea, and Kaya would listen. He would listen to stories of tall grasses that brushed your belly as you walked, of long, dusty paths where the prints of many animals lay side by side, of hot days and cold nights, and a sky so big it made you feel small and safe at the same time. As he listened, Kaya's world grew bigger. Even though his paws had never touched the savanna soil, it began to live inside his heart. One early evening, after running and playing all day, Kaya was more quiet than usual. He lay on his back, looking at the slowly darkening sky. The tiny lights of stars were beginning to appear. 1, 2, 3, more and more. His mother noticed his silence. "What are you thinking about, little cub?" she asked, her voice as soft as the river's song. Kaya rolled onto his side and pressed against her warm fur. "Mama," he said, "you always tell me about the savanna, about the tall grass and the wind and all the animals. I feel like I can see it when you talk. I feel like I can smell it. He paused, searching for the right words. "I want to know it for real." His mother's whiskers twitched. "You already know many things," she said gently. "But I want to go there," Kaya whispered. "I want to walk where you walked. I want to learn every sound and every smell. You know it so well, Mama. Maybe one day I could show it to others. Maybe I could be a guide, a savanna guide." He laughed a little at his own idea. It sounded big, very big, too big for such small paws. His mother looked at him for a long moment. She saw the sparkle in his eyes, the curiosity that never seemed to sleep inside him. "A guide," she repeated, smiling. "To be a guide, my little Kaya, you must love a place, and you must listen to it very carefully. You must learn its secrets, its dangers, and its kindness. You must learn when it is quiet and when it is loud, when it is thirsty and when it drinks." Kaya's heart beat faster. "I can learn, Mama. Teach me, take me there." There was a silence. The river whispered. A bird called from a distant tree. At last, his mother nodded slowly. "All right," she said. "Not when you are big. But we will begin now." Kaya sat up so quickly that a leaf stuck to his ear. "Now?" he gasped. His mother chuckled and gently brushed the leaf away with her nose. "Soon," she corrected. "We must prepare. A journey to the savanna is not like a walk along the river. There will be long days, hot ground and few places to hide from the sun. But if you are ready, we will go together. You will see the land where I was born." Kaya's heart felt as if it might float away like a cloud. "I'm ready," he said, and he meant it with every little piece of his being. A few mornings later, they set off. The river sang them goodbye, a soft splashing song. The grass brushed against Kaya's legs as if wishing him good luck. They walked past familiar places. The smooth stone where Kaya liked to watch fish. The crooked tree where birds argued every morning. The fallen log that always smelled of mushrooms. Soon the air felt different. There was less water in its smell and more dust. The ground was harder beneath Kaya's paws. They climbed small rises and walked down into gentle dips in the earth. They stepped over tiny streams and followed narrow animal paths. Hours passed. The sun climbed higher, then began its slow fall again. At last, Kaya's mother stopped. She closed her eyes and took a deep breath. Kaya tried it too. He drew the air into his small nose and held it. There was something new in the scent, something dry and warm, something old. His mother opened her eyes, and they shone in a way he had not seen before. "We are close," she said softly. "The Savanna is near." "Really?" Kaya asked, looking around. To his eyes, everything still looked strange, but not yet magical. The ground was a light brown. The plants were shorter. The trees were more spread out. But the Savanna from his mother's stories was still in his imagination, not yet in front of him. They walked a little farther. With each step, the soil grew more powdery. When Kaya put his paw down, tiny clouds of dust rose around it and drifted away like silent smoke. The grass where it grew was not bright river green. Some blades were pale, some gold, some dry and whispery. And the sky looked enormous. Kaya stopped walking and just stared up. There was so much of it, so wide, so open. It felt like the whole world had moved away from him just a little, to give him more space to breathe. His mother came to stand beside him. "Welcome, Kaya," she murmured. "This is the Savanna." Something moved in Kaya's chest, a feeling like joy, a feeling like awe, a feeling like coming home to a place he had never seen before. The ways earth. They continued walking, but now Kaya paid attention to every little thing. He noticed how the wind sounded different here. By the river, it carried the sound of leaves and water. Here it brought the soft hiss of dry grass and the faraway calls of animals. He lowered his head to sniff the soil again. "It smells," he began thinking. "It smells old, like it remembers many things." His mother smiled. "The Savanna has watched many, many seasons," she said. "It has seen animals come and go, rain arrive and disappear, fires burn and grass return. If you listen to it, it will teach you too." Kaya pressed his paw gently into the ground as if greeting an old friend. Soon something rose ahead of them. It was taller than Kaya, but not as tall as a tree. It was made of earth, shaped into towers and bumps, like a frozen wave of mud. Kaya's eyes widened. "Mama, look! Is that a sleeping mountain?" he whispered. His mother chuckled softly. "No, little one. That is a termite mound. Tiny insects built it grain by grain with great patience." "Tiny insects?" Kaya repeated, amazed. "They made something this big?" "Yes," his mother replied. "Inside, many thousands of them live and work. They make tunnels and rooms. They keep the air just right, not too hot, not too cold. The soil they move and mix becomes rich, and plants near their homes often stay green, even when the land is dry." Kaya walked slowly around the mound. So something so small can make a big difference, he murmured. That is one of the Savanna's lessons, his mother said. Size is not the only kind of strength. Kaya thought about that as they moved on, running in dust. For a while, they walked in silence. The sun was warm on Kaya's back, and the dust puffed beneath his paws. Suddenly, Kaya felt energy pushing up inside him, like a spring that wanted to bounce. I want to run, he said. His mother's eyes sparkled. Then run, she answered. Kaya took off. He ran straight ahead, then curved, then zigzagged for no reason at all, just because it felt good. The wind slid past his ears. The ground thumped softly under his feet. Dust rose behind him like a small, playful cloud. He heard his mother's paws join the rhythm behind him. She let him race ahead, then caught up easily, leaping beside him with long, graceful strides. They ran together until Kaya's chest was full of heat and his legs felt like soft grass. They slowed, then stopped, panting, laughing without words. Kaya flopped down on his side, and a little gray-brown dust whooshed up around him. Mama, he said between breaths. Even the dust feels different here. Everything does, she replied. The river of hooves. As they rested, Kaya felt a faint tremble under his body. He pressed his ear to the ground. Do you hear that? He asked. His mother's ears flicked. She turned her head toward the horizon. Yes, she said slowly. Listen well, Kaya. This is something you must know if you want to be a guide. The trembling grew a little stronger. The ground seemed to hum softly. A low, distant sound rolled toward them, like many soft drums beating together. Kaya stood and narrowed his eyes. Far away, a dark line moved across the land. It shifted and flowed like a living river. What is that? He whispered. They are antelope, his mother answered. A great herd traveling together. As they watched, the shapes became clearer. Bodies, legs, horns. There were so many that Kaya couldn't count them. They stretched from one side of his view to the other, a moving curtain of life. You said they move in groups, Kaya murmured, but I never imagined this many. Sometimes thousands, his mother said quietly. Sometimes tens of thousands. They travel to find fresh grass and water. Their hooves beat the ground like a heartbeat. To me, it has always sounded like the savanna itself is breathing. Kaya closed his eyes and listened. Boom, 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 boom. The sound of hooves was steady, patient, powerful. He felt it in his paws, in his chest, even in his whiskers. If I ever guide someone here, he said softly, I want them to hear this. I want them to feel it. His mother looked at him with pride. Then remember it, she replied. Hold this feeling inside you. A good guide remembers how a place feels, not just how it looks. After the herd had passed, leaving a faint cloud of dust shining in the sunlight, they continued their journey. Now Kaya listened more carefully than ever. He heard the rustle of something small in the grass nearby. Perhaps a lizard, perhaps a mouse. He heard the far, far cry of a bird high in the sky, so high he could barely see it. He heard the soft rattle of dry seeds brushing against one another in the wind. Mama, he said, it really does feel like the savanna is always saying something. His mother nodded. It is always speaking, she said. Not with words like ours, but with sounds, smells, and colors. To understand, you must be patient. You must listen with more than your ears. With my heart? Kaya guessed. Yes, she replied. With your heart. Later, as the sun slid lower, they came upon a large shadow near a lonely tree. At first, Kaya thought it was a stone, but then the stone breathed, slow and deep. It was a massive rhinoceros, its skin dark and wrinkled like old bark. On its broad back perched a small gray bird with a bright red beak, hopping and pecking gently. Kaya stared with bright curiosity. His mother whispered, "That bird is an oxpecker. It helps the rhino by eating insects, cleaning wounds, and warning it when danger comes." Kaya's eyes widened. "So even a giant needs help from someone tiny?" "Everyone needs help," his mother answered softly. "In the savannah, big or small, all lives are connected." They walked on until the land darkened into long stretches of black earth. Kaya slowed, confused. "Mama, why is the ground burned?" "Fire visited this place," she said gently. "But fire is part of the savannah. It clears old plants so new life can grow. Look closely." Kaya lowered his head and saw tiny green shoots pushing through the ash. "Life starting again," he whispered. "Exactly," his mother said. "The savannah always begins again." After a while, they reached a patch of deep green. Tall acacia trees rose like guardians, their branches full of fresh leaves. "Our family lives here," his mother said warmly. Lions resting beneath the trees lifted their heads. Soft, rumbling greetings filled the air as they approached. Kaya was welcomed with gentle noses and curious smiles. They shared food and stories as the sun disappeared behind the horizon. Later, Kaya and his mother lay beneath an acacia tree. He gazed up at the leafy branches glowing softly in the fading light. "Mama, why are these trees still green when others were dry?" he asked. "Acacia trees protect themselves," she explained. "When too many animals eat their leaves, they make the leaves taste bitter. They also send a scent through the air to warn nearby trees. Even trees speak to each other here," Kaya whispered. "Everything talks in the savannah." "Yes," she murmured, "to those who listen." Night arrived quietly. The sky stretched wider than Kaya had ever seen, filled with thousands of stars. A cool breeze brushed over them. Kaya curled close to his mother. "The sky feels so big," he said sleepily. "Because nothing blocks it," she replied. "The savannah is open and honest." Kaya blinked slowly, fighting sleep. "Mama, the savannah is huge and a little strange, but it feels warm, like a home." "It is a home," she whispered. "A home for those who learn to listen." Crickets began to sing. A distant roar echoed like a soft lullaby. The grass rustled with nightlife. Kaya's eyes grew heavier and heavier. "Mama," he murmured, "do you think I can really be a guide someday?" "You're already becoming one," she whispered. "Today you felt the savannah's heartbeat. You heard its voice. You learned its lessons. That is how a guide begins." Kaya smiled faintly as sleep wrapped around him like a soft blanket. His breathing slowed, warm and peaceful. Above him, the stars shimmered like tiny fires in the sky. Around him, the savannah hummed with life, some animals waking, others settling into sleep. Under the wide, glowing sky, Kaya drifted into a deep, gentle dream. He dreamed of tall grasses brushing against his sides, of dusty paths glowing under the sun, of running with herds that thundered like drums, and of standing proudly as a guide one day, showing others the secrets of this ancient land. The savannah, wise and patient, held him safely as he slept, whispering to him through the wind and the grass. And so, wrapped in his mother's warmth and the night's soft embrace, Kaya slept soundly, gathering strength for the wonders of tomorrow. The savannah watched over him, open and endless, ready to welcome him again with the first light of morning. And as the night settled deeper, the gentle breeze carried the soft scents of grass and warm earth around the sleeping cub. Kaya shifted softly, his tiny paw curling as dreams drifted through him, dreams of golden fields that shimmered like warm honey, of winds that whispered his name, and of horizons that glowed with morning light. Around him, the savanna moved in quiet magic. An owl glided like a silent shadow. Fireflies floated like tiny fallen stars, and distant hooves echoed like the heartbeat of the ancient land. His mother watched him with tender, glowing eyes. She knew the savanna itself was teaching him, cradling him, guiding him with every dream. With a soft sigh, she lowered her head beside him, her warmth wrapping him like a gentle blanket. Above them, the stars shimmered in silver threads, as if the sky were sewing a quilt of light just for the night. In that peaceful hush, the savanna whispered a lullaby only the heart could hear, promising new wonders with the first breath of dawn. And so, wrapped in starlight and the love of his mother, the little lion slept deeply, safely, beautifully, resting for the stories tomorrow would bring. Good night, little wanderer of dreams. Good night, gentle heart. May the stars guard your slumber. May the wind sing softly for you. And may your dreams carry you through fields of light until the morning finds you again.